the Jeopardy Tournament of Champions just wrapped up tonight. While we're
Did I
taping
call
this.
it? Did I call it? Was I right?
Yeah,
Did I say what did I say? Who was going to win?
Holzhauer,
Who won?
James Holzhauer.
That's a lock. Don't ever bet against me on the Jeopardy Tournament of Champions. I even said Emma was going to be in the final three. I said that. I
I
didn't
had
call.
Francois in the final three as well.
I think we did kind of like nail it. But
Yeah.
you know what? I will say it. Jeopardy is the ambassador of game shows. It is the most sports-like broadcast of a game show. And I'm going to be honest. This Tournament of Champions, I didn't watch all of it. I only watched Monday's show because of the moment, and the Thursday, Friday episodes. And I will say this was the most sports-like strategic Jeopardy I have seen, especially of Holzhauer.
Yeah. I think it was better than the 2017 Tournament of Champions, and that had a really great final.
That was like down to the wire.
Yeah. Buzzy Cohen, Alan Lynn, and Austin Rogers.
And my pick was Austin. Well,
second place.
I won this time. I won this time.
Yep.
But no, it was a really, really good tournament champions. I think the reason I think it was also really good though was like you got to think of all the competitors outside of James Holzhauer.
Yep.
Because a lot of these people also had runs of their own that if it wasn't the James Holzhauer season, they would have been the name of the season. Here's a 9-day champ. Here's an 11-day champ.
Here's a dominant teachers tournament winner. Here's a 7-time champion. Here's
like these people won 6 figures on the show. Yeah. It's if anything, you shouldn't do the 5-day club takes tournaments. Have you won 6 figures on Jeopardy?
Yeah, which is kind of what happened this season.
Once again we're just saying ignore Holzhauer for the moment because yes, you play a unique game, 6-figure on the dailies, but the other contestants, they either won like 50 grand in a single day, or they won 4 or 5 days and broke records.
Yeah.
And these questions, they weren't easier. They were like.
Although I will say, I did get the final.
I think the contestants are just smarter now.
Yeah.
Jeopardy casting picked the greatest crew this time around. Yep. The returning champions all didn't. You know what else I just realized? Not a lot of the returning champions this season of Jeopardy. You know, that's always like a recurring snarky bit I hear about all the time when it comes to watching Jeopardy. Is that the returning champion's always like a smug piece of shit? Because they've already won the episodes, they're more confident than all the others, and then they usually get their comeuppance. This time around, I think they were still playing as if it was their first day.
Yeah.
Which is the way to go about it. This is Jordan Strats, the new segment with Strats for Jeopardy. Don't lose your cool when you're a returning champion. Mm-hmm. Also, field for daily doubles. Don't do that. Wait till the end, so that way you can maximize your score. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So now let's discuss.
Oh wait. So wait. Before we go to Holzhauer 1.
Yeah.
That was $250,000. So
now the question is this: where do you put Holzhauer? Number 3 or number 2?
That's what I was just about to ask. Does that put him at number 2? I think that still leaves him at number 3, but just barely, because he does reach past, I think, the 2 million threshold now.
Oh, he's over 2.5 million.
But he passed Ken?
Yes.
So he is now number 2 officially then.
Well, not in money's won, no, but I put him above Ken for one simple reason. Ken has never won a tournament.
Wow, I never knew that. So he lost his tournament champion when he first...
No, he never was given a tournament of champions because when Ken went on that 75 game streak, they were like, okay, we got to do an ultimate tournament of champions.
Like we are not inviting you.
We're just putting you in the finals.
Oh.
And then he gets his clock cleaned by Brad Rutter,
who is currently still undefeated in Jeopardy.
Not quite.
Are you counting Watson in this?
Okay, if we're not counting Watson, then he's undefeated.
I'm not counting that robot. That was a gimmick to promote some computer for smart devices that would now be used in what amounts to being like Siri and Alexa.
Mm-hmm. There was a moment we actually had a dumb answer of the week based on Watson.
I saw that. That was a fun episode. Oh, man. Because that was the one glitch, and that was funny.
There were two of them over the course of the period. And we just lost the files.
What happened? Wait, you lost the files?
Mm-hmm.
Did Sony do a cease and desist, or?
No, the files just got wiped.
Like, completely, like, no existence of the IBM challenge?
Yeah.
That's kind of, hokey.
No, it was just kind of bad planning on our part.
Well, I'm sure someone out there still has the episodes available, and then can just send it over. If you, for some reason, have an episode of Jeopardy where Ken Jennings, Brad Rutter, and a talking LED screen, please send it over to Jordan. That's at Jordha on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
But
let's talk about the Monday game.
So the viral clip.
Dwarv Gar, I think is his name. I'm probably mispronouncing it like the Dickens. Dead last, wasn't gonna make it, and just put in his answer, "What is we love you, Alex?" And that happened to be...
That was, I believe, the tape day when he announced it returned.
Mm-hmm.
And that really did apparently, if you noticed in that recording, the audience was more stoic, and so were the contestants than usual.
Yeah, because this was the last episode before he went back to had to have a second round of chemo.
And then when Alex read the clue, the "We love you, Alex," he did hiccup a bit and teared up. And then still was a consummate professional and still said, "Well, you have $5. Let's continue."
Mm-hmm. So now we get this news. This was from the Jeopardy boards, trusted sources. They have changed the taping schedule because of what's happened with Alex. Normally, Jeopardy does 5 games a day. But because of how chemo is taking its toll, it has been changed. One taping day will be 3 games, and then another taping day will be 2 games. And he didn't look well at all. And they had to re-record quite a few answers. And going by this taping info, he had a coughing fit and was doubled over in pain because he had fallen and injured a rib. Also, he said that he was done with the latest round of chemo, but was stopping immunotherapy because it was not working anymore. These episodes that I just talked about were taped in late October, and are going to air in January. I don't know if there are any other taping dates for the past couple of weeks. I'm pretty sure there were. But I am... the way this is sounding, I might just cap it at 130 and just end the season right there because of what's happened with Alex. It's just that sad, and
it's also you don't really want to overwork Alex at this point.
No.
So going 2 days, 3 days, probably back to 2 days, back to 3 days, and he's the guy who wants to continue doing that job.
Yeah.
And eventually, someone has to jump in there and say, "Alex, you got to stop. You got to let it go." But I know that's not what he wants. For a multitude of reasons. One being he loves doing that job. 2, it is like what he's best known for. And 3, I believe to Trebek, he doesn't want to stop hosting it right now because probably in the back of his mind, he thinks if they stop tape, then all of the crew, all of the writers, all of these people I work with day in, day out, they won't have a job for a few months. And I can't let that happen because I'm sick. So I got to keep doing this.
Right. They are a family. I mean, I go back to the second edition Jeopardy game for the PS1. A lot of the staff said they are a family. Like, they've been around for the longest time.
So I think for Alex, it's not so much he wants to continue doing this because he still wants these people to have a job. And I don't think, and I'm pretty sure he knows, and I think they also know, you can't just immediately replace him if this happens. So we're going to keep doing this as much as I can because if the worst happens, everything is shut down.
Until September.
And we're in December right now.
Yeah. We're in November.
So, like, you would be off work. If you were a Clue writer, if you were the Clue crew, if you were the director, you're out for a foreseeable future in what amounts to being one of the safest jobs in game shows.
Yeah.
Like, that is recurring work. Game shows are a gig by gig kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Wheel and Jeopardy are kind of like, except for maybe Price is Right, maybe, the safest jobs to have in the industry. If
Wheel,
that's gone,
Jeopardy, Price, and Let's Make a Deal.
If that's gone, then you are out work for a few months, and that's not good. And I think Alex knows that, and I think that's why he's not giving up, and that's why he's still hosting the show. And he'll take half days. You're saying just put it in at 1:30. Just put the poll at the plug, maybe 2 more weeks, and be done with it.
Because they normally do like 225 episodes a year.
So you're saying like into around March, April, as opposed to May. I mean, I could see that. The only other, like, because the only alternative they could do is do 2-2 and then an audition day, and have it be kind of like in a very old school mentality of Friday being the special guest, kind of like when Carson was finding his replacement, and have Friday be the celebrity guest who would host the show, and use that as the audition pad. That's the only other thing I can think of for how to go about Jeopardy. It's that or speed up the tournaments. Get a teacher's tournament, teen tournament, all those. Just record those and then be done.
Or just not do them this year.
Well, the only reason I say put those in is because then you can put repeat episodes in the back burner and then have those fill in the gap. But yeah, I think
that's true.
Put it into. I say just find a way to like use this time to find your next person if worst comes to worse. What's a 1-day gig for Andy Richter?
Or Neil Patrick Harris.
Or everyone that we're listing. Because then you can continue watching the show. And then you can have Trebek still be there. And he can sign in like, on Friday's show, Neil Patrick Harris was here. Thank you, Neil. And our returning champion has 21,000. Let's see if she can make more. Let's go to work. And continue from there.
Yeah.
But I will still say, as heartfelt as that message was, and how sad a lot of this Alex Trebek news is, hang in there. I think this should just show you how tough Alex Trebek is as a host.
Oh, yeah.
They're still taping the damn show. So if you're ever in the area, go to Culver City, get your tickets to see Jeopardy today.
Absolutely.